Test, test. Please type in the chat if you can hear me. What's up, BB? Hey, Karen, how you doing? Glad to see you on a Monday. Whoops, I dropped my phone. I'm so clumsy. I was like repositioning myself on the couch, right? And I dropped my phone on there. That was funny. So as long as you guys can hear me, I could start. And I kind of wanted to get into you know how like when you start getting into the truth community, right? And you start learning about like the symbolism, right? Like this one eye symbolism and the number symbolism and all that stuff, right? Well, what do we do, right, when we go to truthers or whatever with big platforms, and you start noticing that they have like they have that symbolism too, and you're like, wow, I'm watching the video. I know that they're doing what they're doing, but yet, like, where else am I going to go to watch truth? Like, I know that they're somehow deceiving me or being a gatekeeper, but have you ever been in that position where, uh, like you're watching like your favorite flat earther, and then they're doing like devil horns or doing some one eye symbolism, and you're like, well, gee, where do I even go? Or like yesterday, I had CC in here, and I've been watching his flat earth stuff for I don't know how long, but I mean, you'd be naive not to notice that CC is 33, right? So it's like, what do we do, right? When we run into like other truthers, right, that have this obvious symbolism, right? So I don't know if like you guys run into that either. Hey, Ray of Sunshine, how are you doing? Hey, Faith, I'm glad you're here. Who else is here? I just want to make sure. Oh, AJ, yeah. What's up, AJ? Well, I think I think Tom is gonna be here at some point. I hope so. And I was gonna drop the link, right? But I say that all the time. Oh, hey, Hannah, I'm glad to see you. Oh, that makes me feel happy. And so, yeah, I know, AJ. Well, see, like I'm trying to I need to find like a regular co-host, but like it is important for me to think about like um not really targeting a demographic, but like I'd like to get more younger men or something, like men with integrity. Because I understand. Look, I'd be stupid not to notice the demographic here. It's obvious. The numbers on my YouTube studio is the majority of the 70% of the people that watch my videos are women over 50. And so there's some women younger than that, but like I'd like to have I'd like to start getting more men in here, but like also like I want to make sure that they're like men with integrity too. Like people that are going to be respectful and keep it safe in here for everybody. Oh, you're 63? Well, hey, look, I'm no spring chicken either. I'm 44. And so after a while life just repeats. There's nothing new under the sun. At some point you've done enough to where you're like, well, I'm not curious about anything anymore, and I don't care about the things I used to care about. But I'm super excited about God. I wish I knew about. I know, Faith, you broke the mold. I was kind of like an extra bonus to the channel. And so, yep, see, BB's in her 30s. So, we're breaking the mold, you know. But no, but you know what? I don't mind my demographic being the way it is, because you know what? That's authentic. It's you know, it's the way it is, you know. And I know that God made me the way I am, right? You know, because He knew exactly where I would be at this time, you know. And I've never been surrounded by stronger people in my whole life, you know. And you know, it just is what it is. Yeah, I mean, like here's the thing, BB, right? Like organic, right? That's a good word, but I also like the word authentic, you know? I like I don't mind if somebody is telling me something that's wrong, right? As long as they're being real, you know? Like like it's cool if you're wrong as long as you believe what you're saying, you know? And it's authentic, you know? I'd rather have that than somebody that knows better telling me a fib, you know. That to me that feels grimy, you know. And so you know, I want to make sure that the person talking, right? And you can feel it when somebody's being truthful. You can feel like them being genuine, you know. Like you can feel if somebody's lying or not, you know. And or if they believe whatever they're saying, you know. And I think, yeah, I like authentically organic. I think that's a good little phrase right there. Authentically organic, you know. Oh, and speaking of like, so check this out, right? I was gonna, so this good servant, right? This is what the channel was called when we started the channel, and you know, I was just the servant. You know, that was me. I was the servant, and the channel was called Good Servant because we were trying to be a good servant. But then everyone just started calling me Good Servant, so I just sort of, you know, it stuck. You know. But now, like, I was thinking, like, because I know people give me a lot of grief about, like, oh, why are you calling yourself good? Only God is good, you know. And it's not that I want to appeal to everyone else, especially critics, but I do understand, you know, like where that comes from, right? So I was thinking about changing the channel name to The Servant, but then I started looking at other channels named The Servant, and man, there's some pretty yucky stuff on YouTube, man. And I think I'm just gonna stick with Good Servant. And like, and one reason is because like when you type in Good Servant, like I'm the first one that pops up, which makes me feel happy about that, you know, because I know some channels that like, you know, they you type in their channel name and they're not even like on the first page, you know. And so good servant is like I think a common phrase if you're looking for like you know, if you're looking for a Bible channel, you know, people that want to talk about the Bible and you know get better at, well, like here's the thing, right? We're in the last days, right? And you know, like I really want to start getting into the book of Acts, right? Especially when I start getting somebody like probably more regular to come on, you know. And then that way you know, this is what it's about here in these last days, is that we're going to be trolled to the point of like maybe even in real life like threatened, um you know, preaching the good news, because a lot of things are going to be blamed on us, you know, and I can already see how it's happening, right? Like you, I don't watch the news, but you know, news gets around that the president has, you know, said that we're, you know, some kind of an enemy if we're not, you know, if we don't take the potion, right? And I wonder, you know, what this, like, not a doctor can't even tell you what the long term effects of this thing is going to be. So, how, you know, how do we know if this thing is going to affect somebody's empathy, right? If this thing's going to affect your emotions, we don't know, right? And so, if they know what it's going to do, because I don't know if you guys seen this, but I seen a not like a documentary, but like a class that Bill Gates was giving way back, like in the day about getting rid of the God gene with a vaccine, and talking about deploying a lung-based sickness, right? Now that's if you want to believe there's a contagion to begin with, but it seems like, man, that a lot of stuff matches that, right? And he said like what it does is like it sort of like affects the God gene, meaning that like for people that are like super fanatical or whatever, people that would like, I don't know, do violent acts or whatever. No, it wasn't a TED talk. This was way back in the day. Like this was like a kind of a briefing to like a DARPA type setting, or like maybe DOD or something like that. Um, and I probably could find it, and I think I will, because I'm referencing it. I'm gonna find it. And the guy was like, "Excuse me, what are you trying to say? It's gonna do what?" And then Bill Gates was like, not a very like, "Oh yeah, you did see that. Oh, it wasn't Bill Gates though. It was some. Oh, it's just fear propaganda." Well, see, like that kind of stuff makes me believe that there is that kind of thing, that where they could affect your empathy with like whatever medication they're giving people, that they're going to give people every year at least. They're going to have to get a booster every year, and I think it's going to be just like the flu shot. I mean, people accepted that. Oh, flu shot every year, we got to go get our flu shot, right? Well, it's going to be the same thing, if not more. And you wonder, like, well, what's in this? There's a certain people that comply and certain people that don't comply. And if they want to do something to us, right, and we're not complying, they're going to make us the enemy. And not just between us and them, right, but between other people and us. You know, the divide and conquer technique, right? But they know there's going to be less of us than there are of them. That's the problem. Yeah, like there's a lot of things to think about. Like I'm not saying to worry about it, right? Because we know how the story ends, right? Everything has already been created from beginning to end. We're living it out. And yes, we have free will, but God also has all the information of what's going to happen and where we're going to be. So we know that we make it, and we know why we make it, right? So I wouldn't say to worry at all. I'd say to feel encouraged when you see these things happen, because it's confirmation, right? And everybody that's supposed to make it is going to make it. You know, don't have any worries about that, because I know that deep in my heart, I know that when I get to be in an incorruptible body, and I get to learn a little bit more about what God knows about this world, that it's gonna seem right and fair, and you know what I mean, like I don't want us to have to worry about any of that, because I used to have this fear that we were going to run out of time and I wasn't going to be able to reach enough people. And it bothered me because I want everything to make it. I want, like, that's just part of my personality, is I want everyone to make it. And I know that I have a role and a character, an authentic character to fill, right? That is about reaching people, and that's what I'm supposed to do. That's my purpose, right? And so I want to reach people and at least share the gospel message, right? And at least point to them, if I don't have people in this chat that are already, people that know the Bible far better than me. I would say 80% of the people that come here know the Bible better than me. And I'm just a baby in all this, right? I just started really dedicating my life to it, 4 or 5 years ago. And so I really like appreciate how strong you guys are in what you know, because when I reach somebody new and bring them here, I know they're in good hands. The only thing I fear is that I'm not reaching enough, like maybe it's just not in the cards. Like I want to reach more men, like see I want to see younger men, make it, like, because it reminds me of like my son. Like I want, like, like I would want someone to be there for him, in that way. And so, yeah, part of me does feel that is like a missing part of this ministry. And I think that it just is going to come in time. But like the most important part is for us to get along here, right? And and even on days where we don't get along, right? And like there's a tiff here and there, um, this is what I'll say: just brush off your spirit, show up tomorrow, and that shows character. Uh, because I mean, anybody, because like whenever you're digging for truth, right? We're not trying to widen this road so much, to where everybody's way is right. There's only one right way. And when you're digging for one right way and there's people with different opinions, right? There's going to be some argument, right? And if we stop that level of scrutiny, even with ourselves, right? Yeah, we'll get along a little bit better, but we won't reach anything, we won't reach that part. Hey Sheila, how you doing? Hey Infinite Plane, welcome. Hey Private Beautiful, James, of course, and Blazing Scar, seeing you come in here. And so I just, hey, look, there's going to be times we're going to be arguing about the timeline in Revelation, or we're going to be arguing about rapture, non-rapture, or something like that, right? And I think it's a argument worth having. And so, I mean, anytime you get to subjects like that, it's either you avoid them altogether or there's a split, right? And then we don't want either one of those things. I think the best thing to do is just to start each day fresh, right? And look, plant your seeds of what you think it is, right? And hopefully, if you keep planting seeds, then people will get it. Because here's the thing, right? Like, as much as, like, say if there's someone in here that you don't get along with today or whatever, right? The people here are more closely aligned with your beliefs, right, than anyone else on the plane, right? Like, if you could get your loved ones, right, to know what I know, right? You would be like grateful for that, right? Like you know what I mean? Like if you could get them to know what you know, right? Like about the flat earth, about the lies and the news about, you know, the nefarious nature of the world, right? Like all of us in here are aligned in that way. If we have disagreements, right? It's like we agree on 99% of the things we talk about in here. And so our arguments will be, based on some small percentage of things that we disagree on, right? And so try to look at it that way, you know, uh, to create, like, to find somebody off the street, right, and to get them to where we are, right, is hard, right? So we need to appreciate each other in that way, that at least we're willing to listen to truth, right? And we found each other, and I think that that's important. I like when every time I pray about it, I know that this is part of it. Part of it is finding each other. Part of it is reaching other people, and part of it is waiting for the signs, right? Waiting for God, right? And if if we get a closer, more secure truth, where we can be confident with, like, okay, look, this is the way it is, you know, then that's going to be great. That anytime we can be more sure of anything. But I'm really careful when I go and say that I know something. I want to make sure that I really do know it. If I have a high degree of belief, I'm going to say that. Let me read this right here from Michigander. Good morning to all. 6 fresh eggs for a strong day, and I produced it with my own labor of love. It takes all kinds to make the world go around. We must work together. You're right on that. That's good that you're trying to be more self-sufficient. And eggs are important. Like, it's an important part of that. It's a good renewable protein. And easy to produce, right? And that's pretty cool. Have a few vegetables, have a few chickens, you could probably be all right with that. I mean, it's weird. They have us kind of compartmentalized and really, really dependent on each other in this society type living, right? And I think as people, we used to be way more self-sufficient, 100, 200 years ago, right? Where everybody knew how to hunt, everybody knew how to fish, everybody knew how to sew, everybody knew how to, all these things, all these little skills that over time, right? Some generations have lost those things, right? That ability. And yeah, hey, you're right on that, BB. I read something you were right about, and then it just skipped. Everything skipped. You were right about something. Um, yeah, I don't know where it went. Yeah, we're stronger together. We are. That's the way I think. But I mean, I also understand like uh, oh yeah, Infinite Plane said that. Absolutely 100% we are stronger together. That's right. Rowan said that. Sorry, Rowan. Hey, Level Up, how you doing? It's Paula. I like Paula. It says that we are henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness whereby they lie and wait to deceive. Yeah, that's right, exactly. And see, like I used to think that you got deceived by not looking into stuff. I think you get deceived by digging in, right? And like everything, like we got to run everything through the word. And I know that that's a hard concept, right? But that's how we got roped into that spinning ball, right? Dig in and only look at these sources or whatever. Okay, Michigander says you wouldn't believe me if I told you I'm 185 pounds, solid as a rock, and I'm fairly well confident in what I can do with my hands. Nice. I do believe you, Michigander. I believe, like most of the truthers that are here, I believe most people, because especially if someone like what's a rare person to find nowadays is people that can like admit when they're wrong and say they're sorry. There's like so few people that can do that now, and it's I can't believe it. Because that used to be something just like easy for me to do. Like if I stepped on your foot, oh I'm sorry. But nowadays you get people that they get defensive, like if they step on your foot, it's like your foot shouldn't have been there or something. Like you did them wrong somehow. It's crazy that how people get defensive and always trying to defend their actions. It's weird. No one can just admit, hey, look, I'm vulnerable here, or I have maybe a character flaw and I need to work on it. Because I have lots of character flaws I need to work on. And not only do I know that I have character flaws that I need to work on, there's character flaws that you guys can see in me that I can't see myself. And so I'm going to need to like hear things that are uncomfortable sometimes so that I could change and be better for the next people. It's like that old saying like I'd like to have a friend that would tell me if I got mustard on my face or something like that, or would you rather have someone just let you have that on your face and oh yeah, everything's cool, buddy, come on man, it's all good. You got a big old glob of mustard on your face. That's not good. No man, I want to get that off of there. So I don't mind. Hey look, some things are going to hurt my feelings. Like some things that I've dug into about my personality that I think maybe are good traits or whatever, maybe they're not. And I need to start doing something else. A lot of crazy stuff. Oh, Michigander, amen to that. Everybody thinks they're perfect. Yeah, exactly. To know everything. I've learned some of the biggest lessons of my life came from a handicap instatement. You're right, man. I mean, look, I'll tell you what you just said is like I mean, that's it right there, right? The most imperfect people, right? The people with the most challenges, right, have taught me the most amount of stuff. And I used to go to the VA and sit there and just talk to all these guys that, either they just got back from, being in Iraq, or just got back from being in Afghanistan, or guys from Vietnam or whatever. I even talked to well, this is a few years ago now, but like, there was even a World War II vet I used to talk to all the time. And man, those guys are amazing, man. And like that type of experience would make somebody crazy nowadays. Like I don't think I don't think that we're the same amount of toughness as the previous generations were. I think we're less able to tolerate, you know, adversity. I think. Yeah, and you know what? I've had my mental health problems too, right? And I have no problem admitting that, right? I don't care if this world thinks I'm crazy. In fact, I'm kind of glad, like that I don't fit in better, and I don't like it when people say things that aren't true, that I'm locked up somehow or been locked up for months or whatever. That's not true, but I mean, I've had my fair share of spending time in the, mental ward, and I'm not afraid to admit that. I'm not ashamed of that, And we all go through experiences in life that sometimes they're hard. I went to a lot of hard schools in life. Things that were hard to deal with, right? And and I'm not ashamed of what of the way I turned out, right? Like, yeah, the way my life is, right? I don't have everything, but I'm happy every day, And I've learned to adapt myself around it, right? And that's what matters, right? I mean, my relationship with God, right? And how happy I am and how happy my kids are with me, things like that, right? Now, I mean, I don't desire things like owning a Ferrari or anything like that. Like that's not even something I want. So like there's a lot of different there's a lot of different things that people measure success with, right? That I just would never consider, right? So yeah, I don't mind it if people say, "Hey, look, man, your life is no good for me." Well, okay, that's on you, right? But I get to talk to 100 people I do know every day, and I get to talk to almost 100 people I don't know every day, and I'm trying to get them to feel the way I feel inside, that there's hope moving on past this place to go be with our Creator. And I mean, that's good news, right? Jesus did all the work for us, right? It's a gift, and I get to go share that with other people. Now, I can't think of a better life, right? You know, I get to be the guy that gets to tell people the good news. Now, if they hate me for it, hey, look, I'm still confused about that one. But Jesus said it would be like that, so, I don't doubt it. Let me read this from Rowan. It says, "You shouldn't be ashamed of that, Steve, and anyone who tries to use that against you is straight up evil." Yeah, I agree. Like everybody has had like problems or health issues or handicaps or addictions or whatever. But these things, right, help us build character to become better, right? And if you look at like when Jesus came back, right, did he go straight to the church and just start, hey guys, come with me, all the most religious, perfectest people that he could find? No, he went out and found regular guys like us, fishermen and tax collectors. I mean, like these are regular cats, man. And so I feel good with that about that. I feel good that we understand the spirit of the way this life really is. And we've had our share of disappointment, and we've had our you know some of the people I've learned, like just like Michigander said, that some of the people I've learned the most from are people that have been abused, people that have had struggles in their life, people that have overcome adversity. No, I'm not talking about like professional victims that want to stay victims, right? But I'm talking about people that have faced adversity and overcame it, or at least attempted to overcome it, even if it wasn't possible, right? That kind of attitude, that kind of drive, right, inspires me. That inspires me, you know? And, especially the more they have to overcome, right? Whether they created that problem themselves or not, right? If they're trying to get better, right? I have to respect that, Yeah, repentance. You have to leave that door open for forgiveness, right? Because God forgave us, right? And so, if any part of you doesn't want someone to be included, right? Then, are you really appreciating what God did for you, I mean, that's all I got to say, And, Jesus did make a point to say, like, if you forgive somebody of a lot, they're going to love you more. And I can't remember that verse. Maybe Level Up does. But when Jesus forgave the woman and she was like, attending to him the whole time, right? She was like showing him love the whole time. And it's like if you forgive somebody more, they'll love you more. I can't remember the parable. I wish that I didn't have to put on the do not disturb function on my phone. Wish people could act mature and that I could do all that, but I'm very close. I'm still shopping around for stuff, right? I went and looked at some prices of some stuff, and it looks like I'm gonna be able to figure it out. So I just, you know, I lollygag a little bit, but it actually ends up benefiting me. The longer you wait, the better off you are. You know, this is AJM status quo in your life in the army, and now it's yeah, exactly. And see, like it takes that adversity, right? Facing gaining that toughness, right? Gaining that like if you have the ability to overcome something, right? Then you can do it again if you need to, or teach somebody else how to do it, right? You can help somebody else, right? There's more than like money is not the only currency in this world, right? They want you to think that, right? But everything is currency, right? Your time, um, your friendship, right? Like anything is worth something, right? You can get something for anything. And they want you to focus on this inanimate object when value comes in all different kinds of packages. Maybe there's a skill that you have that you can provide for somebody that can help them out. And those are the things that's real value. All the other stuff is not real. It's not real. They want us to believe it's real. It's not. It's their little way of keeping count, and they have most of the stuff. It's rigged. It's rigged from the start. I mean, how are we gonna know if they print? You know what I mean? How are we gonna know? We don't. There's no way we could track that. And they all work together and they move all at once and they're all in sync, right? There is a conspiracy. You know what I mean? Like there is a secret society. They are all in on it together. Like this is just being a reality theorist. Like if there's a way for people to have an advantage in life, right? They're taking it. I mean, that's the way life is. And so, oh, what was that, Dutch Sailor? I didn't read your thing. Let me go back and read your thing. Uh, Sorry about that. I didn't mean to ignore it though. I don't see your thing from 10 years ago. But yeah, I mean, like, it's just, yeah, I mean, I wake up every day. Well, I wake up, many times a day, and I only sleep not that not that much at a time, maybe an hour, 2 hours at a time. But I always wake up happy. Like there were times last year like that I woke up with like that anxiety, that fear, right? Like the fear of not having enough time, the fear of not accomplishing enough, right? Like I don't know where it came from and why it came back, but little fleeting seconds of it, like not long periods of time, but I could never go back to feeling that way again. I need to have my spirit on fire now. Like I'm addicted to it now at this point, you know? Like I'm afraid to feel like I did when my life was, quote unquote, normal life, right? Not knowing what was real, right? Being plugged in, right? Now that I'm for sure what's real, everything makes sense to me, you know? And happiness is like, you know, it's easy to obtain now because it's all planned out for us, right? We are special, like Faith was saying yesterday, right? We're all special, right? Like God made us for a reason, and He made us because He wants to spend eternity with us. I mean, I can't imagine anyone wanting to spend eternity with me. I'm a wretch. I'm just confident that God will make me better. Put me in a better body with a better mind and a better way to serve Him. And that is what makes me happy. Like it's not it's not work that I'm putting in for God. It's what I want to do. And I think that that's inherently that's what people want. They want to be wanted. And I think that's you know the image that we're made in. Like maybe it's not a physical image, right? Like maybe it is too, right? But maybe the image we're made in is God's spirit, right? Like that we all just want to be wanted, right? Like, and I think that that's why we were created, to celebrate God every day, and He deserves it, right? I mean, I think so. I don't think that there could be a better scenario for us. Like the fact that we're not going to die, right? That there's an afterlife, and the fact that it's everlasting contentment. And I mean, how could and the fact that it's a gift too, like how could it be? How could it be any better for us, right? I mean, I don't see why anybody would have a problem with that, or why anybody would have a problem believing that. But it is what it is, I guess. Man, it's so good to see all you guys here, man. Dutch Sailor and Clutch, the bearless Clutch. So are you gonna drop the bear forever now, or is that so you're just Clutch now, or are you gonna add it back? Oh, Dutch Sailor says you are in the army now. No. Oh yeah, that song. Yeah, yeah, 10 years ago. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I was in the army a long, long time ago, like during 99 to 2003. So I was in during 9/11, and I think that my first awakening was like in 2007 or 8. Um, learning that wasn't the official story. But then I like got off of YouTube, right? And but YouTube wasn't as good back then either. It was just there wasn't that much. I mean, there was a lot on there, but not like it is now. And I was able to just sort of accept that things were messed up and just keep on living. And then it wasn't until like much later with the flat earth and everything that like really, I mean, really opened me up to like, wow, man, if that's a lie. And I already knew evolution was not true. I mean, it's just not even reasonable to believe how it started. I mean, a rain cloud and a vacuum flying around with a rock, and it rains on the rock, and lightning hits it, and things become alive. I mean, that's not even reasonable. I mean, the rain cloud itself would be a miracle, like. And then, like, if there was a cell that was alive, right? What did it eat? What did it breathe? What did it? I mean, a lot of things would have to be here, for that thing to be able to. Anyway, it's not even reasonable to believe how it started, let alone all the evidences that they have that obviously come after that. And the fact that they can't do it in a lab is very telling. They can do a lot of things in a lab. They can grow an ear on a mouse. So if they can't create life out of a rock, then I guess that's it's not true if you can't start it. Yeah, it's just total crap, man. I can't believe that they would tell little kids they come from a monkey, and that we're on a spinning ball. I mean, I can't think of anything more evil than that. I mean, the approved curriculum is, I mean, it's meant to tell us a creation story that's not of God, right? I mean, it's designed to pull us away from God, and it's not even true. Like it's not even reasonable, right? Like it's just really sad. It's and it's sad that like when you tell like when we tell our family this, right? That they don't see that how evil this is, right? They're teaching kids this stuff. That they come from a monkey, and that there was cavemen and dinosaurs, and I remember having like a dinosaur bedspread, and you know what I mean, like toys, dinosaur toys and stuff, and I mean, think about how evil that is. I mean, it's just evil, on its best day, and we're so indoctrinated with it. It's in every cartoon and and then of course we're watching Disney with magic wands and witchcraft, and they make it look fun. They make it look fun. And then like the Smurfs, right? The Smurfs were communists, right? I mean, none of them had money. They all had jobs. They all looked the same. They all lived in the same houses, right? Like they wanted us to get comfortable with communism. Like, oh yeah, well, I want to be like the Smurfs. I don't want to be like Gargamel and like want to have more gold or something like a capitalist, right? Like I want to be like the Smurfs, the communist Smurfs, right? Where they all get along. It's horrific, right? I mean, it's I don't know, man. Yeah, dragons definitely existed, right? Well, if it's scripture, then it's real to me. So anything that contradicts scripture is not real. I mean, that's how I have to look at things now in order to stay sane. I mean, just because nothing makes sense if I don't do it that way. Yeah, I'm proud of you guys, man. Man, I'm proud of this group. And I I mean, I just, I'm happy. I'm happy with everything. And I think that that's the other half of it, right? You serve God, right? You put together the life you kind of want, take care of your kids, right? And then you find a way to get happy. And I feel great. And and I'm happy. Yeah. Like Gargamel. Yeah, I mean, hopefully he'll come back around, man. Hopefully he'll figure it out. I mean, I miss some of the guys that used to come here. I miss them. And we're not better than them. We're the same, right? We wear them. And and I'm gonna be here for them too when they get out of there. You know, we just got to figure out what's safe for everybody. That's what's gonna matter the most is what's safe for everybody. That's what I got to think about. You know. Yeah. No, you're right about that. Larger animals like behemoth and leviathan, and I mean, who knows, right? I think everything was bigger and better back then, right? Like, because if entropy, right? Entropy is a natural law, right? The second law of thermodynamics, right? So then that would be the same for DNA too, right? Like we're basically a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. And yeah, his cat's name was Azrael. Yeah, Gargamel. I wonder what that represented, right? They got this guy with a big nose that wants gold. Like, that's so horrible what they did in cartoons, right? And then they want you to root for the communist Smurfs because they want to make us that way. It's crazy. It's just crazy. And then they want us to like be into superheroes and everything because that's the whole idea of like transhumanism, right? Like, mix yourself with animal DNA or robots or whatever and become better, faster, or whatever. It's gonna get it's gonna get exponentially more crazy. Just like when we had like, when we were young, we got earrings and stuff or a nose ring or something like that, tattoo. Well, who's to say that kids aren't going to show up with like, like a wolf ear one day? Like, oh, I got this DNA shot and now I got a wolf ear or a robot arm. I had my arm cut off. I got this new robot arm. And so it is what it is. Hey, Joel, glad to see you, buddy. I'm about to round out, man, really. I was hoping Tom would come by, man. I wanted to have Tom up, man. And I know I keep promising him up here, and I talked to him today, so I was kind of hoping he'd come up and talk about like, some of the stuff that's going on out there. And hey, Hannah's here. What's the real calendar? Like, what feast are we on now? Like, did anybody like? So are we on the Enoch calendar now, or like, I can't even remember what the truthers agreed to anymore. I'm starting to think there is no group anymore. We're just all on our own. I mean, I'd like to know what the real, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be soon, Ray of Sunshine. It's gonna be soon. Yeah, I'm glad Joel's here. How about them Lions, man? That was horrible. Well, I don't watch it. I just kind of followed the score, and I know I don't know. They seem to be scoring a lot. I don't know. My brother likes football. He watched it all day. I was asleep most of the day. I was tired off and on. All right, guys. Well, it was 44 to the number I can't the number I won't say if I can avoid it. The Freemason number. Oh, it's nearing Yom Kippur in Sukkot Hebrew year 52, 5782. See, I think, right? This is what I think. Well, I don't want to say what I think, but like October seems. I have a feeling about October, but I can't name any dates because I don't really know. It's all speculation. I don't have any information that anybody else doesn't have, right? We all have the same stuff, but boy, do I have a feeling about 10/4 because it's 88 days from the start of the year, and there's a reason why that became a radio code 10/4. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, so all right, guys. I just want to say that I love you guys. I'm glad that I see you every day. I hope to see you tomorrow. And of course, praise Jesus for his sacrifice and his grace, and pray for the kids. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you later.